Let me see, is this on? Oh, it is on. Hello, my name is Lucas, and welcome to tonight's game show, ELC What You Know, the game show, where we test the knowledge of today's top forestry technicians throughout Canada. Today's contestants are Finn Meekins, certified RPF, who has been working in industry for 3 years now. McKenna Slemon, working as a tree risk assessor for the Canadian government for 5 years. And Ben Pottage, your everyday homeowner tree client, who thinks he knows more than you. These contestants are not familiar with each other's work experience. Let's welcome our contestants with a round of applause. Welcome, contestants.
Oh, the old girl.
Without further ado, the rules are simple. Contestants are shown a photograph of an ELC, and I will ask a contestant a question, and a correct answer will earn you 1 point. Questions are based off the blue plot points here at Emily Tract Nature Preserve, located in Omemee, Ontario. 2 rounds of questions, elimination style each round. 2 rounds, 1 winner. Let's get this started. This is our site here, ELC site number 1. Here are some photographs for you to look on the screen across from you guys. And we'll start off with the questions. First question goes to McKenna, tree risk assessor of 5 years. McKenna, what is the dominant species in the stand composition?
Based on the pictures, I'd say white pine.
Correct, McKenna. You have earned 1 point.
Yay!
Moving on, question number 2 for Mr. Finn Meekins. What are some associate species?
Well, the associates of the chairman of the board, white pine, would be sugar maple, American beech, black cherry, red oak, etc., etc., etc.
That is correct, Finn. 1 point for Finn Meekins.
Let's go!
Moving on to our third contestant, Ben. Can you tell me what this eco site is?
I believe this to be a dry, fresh white pine maple oak mixed forest code FOM 2.
My goodness, Ben, you even got it correct right down to the code. 1 point for Ben. Moving on, question for McKenna. McKenna, what is the vegetation type of this forest?
A white pine forest?
I'm sorry, McKenna, that answer is incorrect. Moving on to Finn, you have a chance to steal the answer. Finn, what is the vegetation type of this forest?
Well, it could be dry, it could be fresh, it could be both, it could be all the above. So let's go with sugar maple forest type, maybe the dash white pine. But I'm going to take what she said with a grain of salt. It's FOM 2-2.
That is correct, Finn. A dry, fresh, white pine, sugar maple forest type, FOM 2-2, right down to the code. Another point for Finn. Moving on, Ben, what is the community age of this area?
These trees look to be about mid-age.
Correct? Correct, Ben. 1 point for Ben. Moving on, McKenna, what is the soil texture you would expect to find here in the location?
Organic?
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
I am sorry, McKenna, that is not correct. Moving on to Finn, a chance to steal again.
Came
Finn,
across the
what is the
country.
soil texture you would expect to find?
Could have elements of organic, but we're going to go with the sandy clay loam, just because I like to keep it right down square in the middle.
Correct, Finn. This soil type is a sandy clay loam. 1 point for Finn. Last question for the site on to Ben. Ben, what do you expect the moisture regime to be for this area?
For a sandy clay loam and the species present, I would say it has a moisture regime of 3, very fresh.
Wonderful, Ben. That answer is correct. 1 point for Ben. Let's take a look at our leaderboard here, folks. We have McKenna here with 1 point. We have Mr. Finn here with 3 points. And we have Ben with 3 points. All tied up with Finn and Ben. I am sorry, McKenna, but this is elimination style, and you have been eliminated from the competition. Thank you so much for participating. And we have a coffee waiting for you in the break room. Please don't put too much cream in it, because it's whipping cream, not table cream. Thank you, folks. Now we're going to move on to our second site. This is ELC point number 2. Here are the photos for you to look at the site right here across the screen for you contestants. And we're going to get this started. Starting off with Finn. What is the dominant species in the stand composition, Finn?
Well, it looks to be about eastern white cedar.
Correct. That is correct. 1 point for Finn. Moving on. Question number 2 for the site. Ben, what are some associate species you could observe in this area?
While looking at the pictures, I can see that we have some large tooth aspen, sugar maple, black ash, eastern hemlock, Canada yew, and white pine.
Oh my goodness, those are all correct. 1 point for Ben. Moving on. Finn, what is the ecosite of this area?
Well, I don't know, I like to kind of assess things by licking the soil up, and it felt dry on the lips and the tongue, so it's going to be around dry to fresh, white cedar mixed forest.
Correct. 1 more point for Finn. Moving on. Ben, what is the vegetation type of this forest?
I believe the vegetation type to be a dry, fresh, white cedar poplar mixed forest type, FOM4-2.
Correct, right down to the code. Again, 1 more point for Ben. Finn, can you tell me what the community age of this forest would be?
Well, I don't know, man, like, it looks to be like the right age for a good fruiting, so I'd call it mature, it's ready.
That is correct. Another point for Finn. Ben, what is the soil texture you would expect to find in this area?
Well, in a dry, fresh area, I think it would probably be loamy sand.
Correct. Loamy sand. Another point for Ben. Here we are, the last question for the site. Finn, this could make it or break it for you. What do you expect the moisture regime to be for this site?
Since I used the lips and tongue method used by British Columbian Forest program, it felt like dry. It felt dry. Like I had to down about a gallon of water afterwards. So.
Is that your final answer?
My final answer.
I am sorry, Finn, but that is incorrect. Ben, this is a chance to steal and win the game. Can you tell me what you expect the moisture regime for this forest to be?
I believe the answer you're looking for is a moisture regime of 2, fresh.
There you have it, folks. That answer is correct. We have a brand
RDF
new
doesn't mean
winner here.
anything now, I guess.
ELC What You Know. We have our homeowner, Ben, who has gone and broken the stereotypes and proved that homeowners know more about our trees and green spaces and natural environments than the people going and taking the education for it. I'd like to thank all our contestants for showing up today and giving it their hardest and answering the questions to the best of their abilities, but it seems they can't just match up to our homeowner. Once again, this is ELC What You Know, the game show where we test the knowledge of today's greatest forestry technicians. Thank you so much. I'm Lucas Gino, and that's our show. Good night. Take it easy. How's it going? Sleep tight.